Hi, I'm Rick Dancer, and I'm really frustrated today. Just heard a report, and I can't see it myself. For those of you who want to go, where's the report? Can you show? Can you give us your sources? Well, it's in the New York Times today, and the New York Times doesn't let you get on their site unless you are a member, and I am not going to be a member of the New York Times. So I can't see it for myself, but I heard it in an interview, and I think it's in today's paper, buried in the back, and it's talking about COVID. And it's talking about how kids, there's some information showing that kids between 15 and 17 are more likely to have heart problems if they got one of the vaccines, and I can't remember which one it was. Then both of them, Myrna and I think that was Pfizer and the Myrna vaccine, they're seeing problems with convulsions and seizures in 2 to 5-year-olds. Now, the fact is that there's proof that kids don't even need the vaccine. And yet we live in a country where they were mandating it and telling us we had to have vaccines. And now it's coming out that we didn't. And now we're talking about immunity for all the people that had it. But where's the people coming out saying, oh, we shouldn't have done this. This was a bad thing. Everybody's silent. Whoosh, not a noise, not a comment about it. And it frustrates the hell out of me, because if we do not talk about this, and if social media continues to censor this kind of stuff, it's going to happen again. They want to be able to control us and make us fearful, and we can't fall for that again. And yet all I get is people screaming at me, calling me an anti-vaxxer and an anti-that. Well, why shouldn't I be? I didn't need it, and neither did you. And yet nobody will talk about it. Nobody will say it publicly. Especially those who got the shot. It's just silence, walk away, pretend like it didn't happen. Such an American thing. The other thing that's driving me crazy today, did you hear the horrible news out of Maine? 18 people murdered by some nutbag in a bowling alley. And now the vice president and the president, they're all going to start talking about gun violence and more restrictions on guns. How about more restrictions on crazy people so they can't get the guns, but not restrictions on it? When are we going to blame the people rather than an inanimate object? A gun can't kill anybody unless there's a human being behind it pulling the trigger. So instead of putting that, and then what they do is you come up with all this regulation that affects only the law-abiding citizens like me who have guns, who aren't going to go do that. Somebody who's going to do that is not going to pay attention to more regulations. It's not going to make it any more difficult. We've seen that. We have a mental health crisis in our country, and that's why people are doing this. Perhaps we should start putting funding into that instead of stupid legislation that restricts law-abiding citizens from using guns and it's part of our country. And I would rather have a gun and protect myself from some nutball like that coming into a bowling alley than be a victim of him. So again, it's the trigger pulled by a human. An inanimate object can't do anything by itself. When are we going to start really talking about the issues rather than sweeping them under the rug? I'm so tired of it.